Good morning. It is Saturday morning, July 29th, and we had just some nice hot weather this week, and then a great big storm on Thursday afternoon. Yesterday was gorgeous, so everything looks really pretty in the garden. I have some new stuff blooming, so I wanted to go ahead and do a walkthrough. It's about 6:30. So the lighting is good and the color should be good, hopefully. On everything, it's going to be another gorgeous day, like 77 and sunny and beautiful here today. So let's start right here on the corner. I cut these salvia back. I'm pretty sure this is the Pink Profusion salvia from Proven Winners, and then there's just some Impatiens. These are just little 4-pack, 6-pack Impatiens that I got at Walmart, and this corner has just gotten so cheery and pretty. So with the Impatiens and then the salvia starting to make its second flush, these coleus, again, these are ones that I started from seed from a company called Outside Pride. They've just done beautifully. I have these coleus all over the place and they're just really gorgeous. I will definitely be starting seeds for coleus again. Now I probably will never buy another 6-pack of coleus, knowing now how lovely and easy these are to start from seed, and just how beautiful they do through the year. And then the Empress Wu hosta is beautiful. It's blooming. And then these little lilies behind. These are lily bulbs that I got from Walmart last year. The orange is so stunning, but then they age out like this. They're really gorgeous. And then all the hostas behind it. I think that this is probably close to my favorite little spot right now in the garden. And then this whole border here with the coleus mixed in, and the hostas and the brunnera. This is the Queen of Hearts brunnera here. So pretty. And the lungwort, beautiful. All the way down, the shade area is just looking really pretty. This is an astilbe. This is its first year. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get blooms off of that, but and then this little hosta is hanging on. Hopefully next year it'll have a better year. These are some coral bells. Those are Anna. So those are from a plant sale from that woman Anna, and this is their second year in the ground. When I first put this in last year, it was like 3 leaves or something. So it's done really nicely. It's just perking up really pretty. Really loving it. And then again, the coleus and the hostas all the way down. The Woo La La hosta. Oh, so pretty. And then this vining bush that belongs to my neighbor that kind of falls over our border fence here is starting to bloom, and it's just, these flowers are so stunning. I still haven't been able to get to touch base with Lola and figure out what this actual plant is, but wow, it's gorgeous. And it's so nice because I get that borrowed bit there in my little garden here, and I love it. So yeah, that looks really beautiful. And the serendipity alliums are coming out. They're really starting to bloom and show their color. So pretty. And honestly, I'm still primrose. Still getting flowers on the primrose, even though we went up into The high 80s, low 90s this week. They're not quitting. I love it. They're really, really beautiful. I can't wait for them to fill out more here as the years go by. That's going to be gorgeous. Starting to get some flowers on the Sweet William. Now, I started these from seeds too. One pack of seeds I have is from Baker Creek, and the other pack of seeds I have is just like some random big box pack of seeds. I don't even remember what it's not like Burpee or anything like that. It's just really some very basic like 50-cent pack of seeds. So either way, they've both done really, really well. And I think I bought that pack of seeds from like Menards, and it was years ago. I had Lily with me, and she was like, oh, you have to get some of this. And then I never started them, not until this year. And so here's the other Sweet William, and they're both doing really pretty, doing really, really, really well. Everything out here is doing really, really, really well. We've had just great weather for letting plants get established. With it being so temperate and really just in the sort of mid 70s to low 80s, it's really been perfect for getting plants established. Not great for peppers, but good for putting in perennials and giving them plenty of time to acclimate and set their roots. This is the denim and lace Russian sage. It did take a little bit of a beating in the storm. We had a real heavy rain, lots of wind. Luckily we didn't get any hail, but there were areas around us that had hail warnings, like up to baseball size hail. So it definitely got pretty wicked around here just a couple days ago. The phlox from Walmart is finishing up. You can see that one, and then that one's really gone. I got to come in and cut that back. This coneflower is starting to get those big cones in the center. I love that. I think that's my favorite part of this type of flower, is that seed head. They're just really pretty. It's going to put on at least one more flower here this year. Looking good. Very happy with it. All the heucheras that Lily put in look gorgeous. And then this heuchera from last year is just starting to put its blooms on. And pretty little pink blooms. Gorgeous. There's another Queen of Hearts Brunnera in there. And this little area is shady, kind of like on the other side of the stairs, but it's just not as colorful. I didn't get any impatiens there or anything like that, but next year I'm definitely going to make sure to throw some impatiens in this area, because it really just makes it pop. And I love it. Love it. Look at these, are so gorgeous. They glow. They glow, and they just give this movement and just such a beautiful look in any kind of basket. I really love it. And then the frosted explosion grass. Yeah, I'm really enjoying these this year. The lace cap hydrangeas are so pretty, putting on a ton of blooms, looking really beautiful. Really beautiful. My begonias on the porch are starting to get so tall, I'm having to prop them up. Look at the stems on these things. They're falling over. So I'm gonna have to get some sticks in there and prop those up, or that was one thing. I was thinking about maybe even just taking those out of the pots and putting them in the ground, and then replacing them with this. So these are some caladium bulbs that I got, like, I don't know, maybe a month ago. at Walmart. They had them, you know, they had all their bulbs marked down. I put them all in this pot and put them on the ground in front of the porch here in the pot, thinking, oh, this will come up and it'll look really pretty and it'll just be something extra on the ground in there. And then I realized that I had them in a spot where just a ton of water drained off the roof, and I thought that I had basically just killed them all, that they were all rotted. So I stuck them over here with all the other stuff that needs to go get cleaned out and go down in the basement and everything else, and they're all starting to bloom. They're all well, not bloom, but put on their leaves. So I may end up swapping these into the 3 larger pots and taking these begonias out and letting those excuse me, be in the ground for the rest of the year. But we'll see. Definitely have some bare spots in here where it would be nice to have those begonias. The going bananas. Daylilies are in bloom. It's a gorgeous yellow. It's just such a soft, pretty yellow. And I cut back this Nepeta as well. It's starting to get to a second flush. It'll take a little bit, but I'll definitely have a second flush on that before fall. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I'm still don't know. These are getting beat up. They're yellow. They got some sort of disease on them. But these are the Casablanca lilies. We'll see. We'll see if they come up. Everything over here is doing okay. It was doing really well, but now you can see that the grasshoppers have found them. And you can see a grasshopper will just skeletonize your plants. And we have a ton of them here, unfortunately. So some of these pompon dahlias are holding their own, and some of them are just getting destroyed. Like this one it's toasted. There's no coming back from that. Unfortunately. And now I do have more, of course, that I haven't planted up yet, so I can take things out and replace it, but we'll see. And so these are the dogwoods, and now that I've kind of had them in this spot, I'm thinking I might put one at the very end here. And even though they get kind of big and it's gonna narrow this walk space, I still feel like it's worth it, and it'll be really pretty, and it'll give me sort of like an opening to the back garden on this side of the house. Okay, so kitchen garden, just fully alive now. The hanging baskets are beautiful. I did end up moving the hooks, the shepherd hooks, out of the raised beds and putting them in the ground, because anytime that these baskets get a little bit wet, it was pulling the shepherd hooks all the way down when they were in the raised beds. The soil is just too soft. So I stuck them in the ground, and that seems to be making a difference. Strawberries. These Proven Winners strawberries, the Buried Treasure red and Buried Treasure pink, they're, I mean, even if they didn't get strawberries on them, they're beautiful plants. The flowers are so sweet. Just lovely. And then I do have some, I think this is cinnamon? Yeah, cinnamon basil in here. I'm letting that get flowers for bouquets, because once I start cutting for bouquets, I like to have, I love the look of this and the smell of the basil, the cinnamon basil especially, and the lemon basil too. But I also like to eat the lemon basil. Not huge on the cinnamon basil, but I do like to eat the lemon basil. Got some zinnias coming on. This is Bennery's Giant Gold, I believe. I just had a mix of seeds, so I had a ton of seeds from just years previous, and I just did a mixed bag with the Bennery's Giants, and that's how I seeded those. This orchid cream nasturtium is gorgeous. Laying forward a little bit, but it's doing beautifully, and the flowers are stunning. Hopefully that one spreads around and comes back again every year. Be perfectly happy with that. Tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. Looking wonderful. Soon, we actually have one tomato. Lily was out here yesterday. She was like, look at this. And so we have one tomato that is starting to put on color, which is fantastic. And oh, you can see, okay, so here's another pest in my garden, and that is slugs. They're just little slugs, but they can do a heck of a lot of damage. Just pick those off. And here's some more. Yeah, they're little pesty pests, and they like my zinnias, and that makes me mad. So I don't always kill them. I just kind of throw them away from the garden. I do have some like dust stuff to put on that would, you know, take care of the slugs if nothing else. They might help with the grasshoppers too, but I just don't like putting anything on my garden because I want the ecosystem. I want the bugs. They are so important, and they're important for your plant, you know, for pollinating your plants, for eating other critters that get on your plants, and for, you know, their poop and their death and everything in your soil. I mean, that's what makes soil. So that's what makes your soil good. And so even though I do add stuff into these beds, they are touching the native soil, and the intention is to, you know, only have to do a little bit of amendment each year, and then have, you know, beautiful, rich soil here because it's been a part of the ecosystem, and it gets enriched that way every year. These beds are by a company called Lifetime. They are a hard plastic. I got them on Amazon last year when we first moved in, and they're 4x4. They are 9 inches tall, and they're fantastic. They went through the winter like nobody's business. I'm hoping that I can get a little more life out of these here because of the snow, and we're humid. We're a humid area right on Lake Superior. It's always, you know, there's always humidity in the air, and then in the winter we get a ton of snow. Like we got, you know, 86 inches or something like that of snow this year. And I need something that can handle being wet. Not just also because, of course, anytime you're putting soil, you're wetting your soil, you're growing in it, you know, wood rots pretty quickly. But this is very safe. You know, plastic, if people are worried about things leaching out into their foods and things like that, this is a good company, Lifetime. They also make sheds out of this type of stuff, and the things they make are made to withstand weather, and they look nice. You know, they're not too obtrusive, so they really just let the garden be what the garden is and do their job of holding the soil in and and retaining the moisture. So I'm happy with those. I'm glad that I made that decision. Oh, you see here. That's how much rain we got yesterday. Or the day before there. I hadn't emptied that out yet. It stayed nice and cool yesterday, like 70 all day. Okay, hollyhocks. Oh my goodness. The hollyhocks are so stunning. So it looks like none of these are the Rosy Carnival. They're all this black hollyhock. And I mean, this thing now is at least 9 feet tall. I would say maybe like 8.5 feet tall. It's gorgeous. The flowers are beautiful. They just, hollyhocks add that such a beautiful cottage feel. I love it. And then the cucumbers are really starting to go for it on the kennel here. And we're gonna have cucumbers soon. I got some babies out there. And starting to finish up the lattice, and we did get the railing on the porch, but we'll go up on the porch in a minute. Excuse me. I'm congested this morning. The potatoes are starting to bloom. So cute. All of the cosmos are really starting to put it on now. I'll have so many cosmos, I won't know what to do with them here very soon. But new blooms in the garden here are these asters, and they're so pretty. They look like they're dyed, you know. The colors are so vibrant with this pink, and then this one is gonna be this purple. Like, they're very Easter eggy. So these are gonna be two beautiful plants here. Once those really start putting on their blooms. I'm excited for that. Squash. The squash is here. We have been picking squash, eating squash. It's gonna be, I think, a really nice squash year. I'm excited for that. And the straw flowers. I don't know if I should cut these back one more time or if I should start letting them bloom. They're pretty dense in here, so I think I'm just gonna let them start blooming, but I'm gonna read up on that a little bit to see, can I get more out of them if I trim them back one more time. These cosmos, this is like the sensation cosmos, and it's beautiful. Huge flowers, gorgeous color. The parsley is starting to open up. We're getting a ton of butterflies. Only one kind at this point, but they are here, and that's lovely. Oh, look at this cosmos. So pretty. Again, I think this is the apricota. Oh, it's so pretty. It looks like a sunset, like a gorgeous sunset. And it opens up to slightly richer orange tones and then fades out to that. It's like a pink and yellow and orangey streaks all through it. It's really gorgeous. More squash taking over. The zinnias that are in here, though, are making their way through the squash leaves. And they're going to start putting on flowers soon. And this one is flowering. It's not a perfect flower, but it's gorgeous. The status is really opening up, and it's beautiful. I love it. It seems like I only have this sort of creamy color opening up right now, but I definitely think those are purple ones over there. And then there's this little yellow one in here. Just cute as a button. All of the eucalyptus is loving life, so I'll be cutting that for bouquets as well. Oh, here's our tomato that's starting to blush. Yay! She's a beaut. Usually the smaller tomatoes are the first to color up, so it's not a surprise that these are the first, but it's exciting because we're just ready to eat tomatoes. This lily opened, very pretty. The green beans. Okay, so green beans are starting to put on their flowers. And see if I can find one. Find a bunch here. They are starting to put on beans. It's exciting. We'll be eating green beans here in just a few days. I mean, probably only about 3 or 4 of them, but we'll be eating them. It's really starting to get lush. I have to think about, you know, keeping the tomatoes cut up so that they're not laying on top of other plants too much, but also not laying on the ground because, you know, now that we get into the warmer weather, we'll have a lot more humidity and then have a lot more chance for disease. And my growing season is so short that I really need to avoid disease as much as possible to get everything that I can out of my garden. So there's some more zinnias over here. These look like Queen Lime series over here. And then this is also Queen Lime. So I have all the Queen Limes. I have the peach, the lime, the red, and the orange. But because of the damage from the slugs and the grasshoppers, I've had to pull some out. And so I don't know exactly everything that I'm going to get out of the zinnias this year, if I'll get all 4 colors or not. But I really hope that I do. These zinnias are so pretty, and it seems like they're going to stay kind of maybe a little bit better behaved than some of the other zinnias, which is nice. Got the stock doing beautiful. Again, just adds to that cottage feel. I love it. It smells amazing. I'll definitely be doing stock again next year. And so this is a Benary's Giant. You can see how big that is. It pretty much covers my whole hand. I think this is salmon. I love the Benary's Giants. They're just beautiful, and they're such a statement flower, really. So that one actually is nice and stiff. I'll probably cut that today. Peach Melba nasturtium still doing fantastic. The Alaska nasturtium also trying to keep up with this Peach Melba and creeping its way out. It has really lovely flowers on it. They go nicely with the Peach Melba. The Peach Melba has just that little bit of that corally color in it, and then you have the Alaska right up next to it. They just really complement each other. So that was a happy accident because this was a volunteer. We're starting to get a few little tomatoes on the Cherokee Carbons. I'm thrilled. I do have some lavender kind of tucked in here. I may have to come in and cut that squash a little bit to get those lavenders some better sunlight, or move them more towards the front of the bed because things are really starting to take over a bit. Yeah, okay, so that is the kitchen garden. It's amazing. Everything looks good. These strawberries, these are the Seascape strawberries. They're kind of in a lull, like a week or so, and then they'll start flushing out more. They're an ever-bearing, so they will definitely flush out more. This hanging basket is glorious. These, and again, I got this on clearance. This is a Proving Winners hanging basket. It's a decent basket I'll be able to use year over year, but all of these plants were in it. I got it on clearance at Walmart. It looked terrible, but I just went in and cut everything back, give it some fertilizer, give it some light, and you're gonna have a gorgeous, gorgeous hanging basket. So don't be afraid to try and rehab some plants. I mean, you know, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? It's gonna die. It was already dying. So these clematis in here are stunning. I cannot wait for this to be like a full, this is its first year, so it just put on a few buds. But when this is completely full, it's going to be stunning. And look at the, even after the flower is done, It has this huge seed head that just, really pretty. It's growing around this basket right now, so I can't really pull this away, but not that this little basket looks pretty too. It's got its nasturtiums in there and the pansies, really sweet. We got some rudbeckia starting to open here. Beautiful. I think this is the Sahara mix. It's a beautiful double fluffy flower. It looks gorgeous right underneath the Cornell bronze dahlias, and I have it on that end too. And one is going to open up right there. And then the Star Child dahlias, beautiful, so many blooms. This is going to be a beautiful bush. Next year I might have the tubers for this out more towards the front, because it's definitely gets a very bushy low habit, and I think it would be a gorgeous accent out there in the front. Looks like we're gonna have some pon dahlias. Again, these were seeds that I got from Outside Pride. Gonna start getting some of these different colors, really pretty. They're doing great. All of the baskets on the porch look gorgeous. These ones look a little straggly, but these just went in. These were some dianthus. Let's see, here's one that's still, that I started from seed and I never got in anywhere. So I told Lily, hey, throw these in a throw these in a pot. If you're on a planting spree, go ahead and throw these in a pot. This lavender I also started from seed. This is the same lavender that's in that bed out there, but you can see that obviously it's had much more light and in this pot. And it was from Baker Creek. I started like a minty ice and a minty blue, I think they were called, lavenders, and I had to put them in the fridge for like a month, and it was a whole process. I was really surprised that I actually managed to make that work. These little baskets are doing fantastic. So we got the railing on the porch, and then the lattice is going to go in front of that and kind of hang just a little bit lower than the skirt of the porch does right now, so then we can grow stuff up. This is a cherry tomato. So I started seeds for the Rosella cherry tomatoes this year, and for whatever reason the plants failed. When I put them in the ground, they just didn't thrive, and I ended up having to pull them. So Lily was really disappointed in not having any cherry tomatoes. So she had helped me so much in the yard, and she's been fantastic in helping me, that I went ahead. We found this at Walmart. I bought it for her, and I bought it at full price. I paid full price for a tomato plant, which is something I don't think I've done in ever. I start all my tomatoes from seed. So that was like paying $18 for a plant. I mean, granted it was this size when we bought it, but paying $18 for a plant, any plant, but especially one that is only going to last until, you know, the end of September, it was hard for me. But I did it. I got these chairs. They were cleaning out a house a few houses down from us, and they had these chairs. They're a little beat up, but I really like the look of them. So I'm going to just smooth them out a little bit and maybe throw some white paint on there, or a little like milk stain kind of look to them, and these just pop right off. Redo the covers on the chairs and have those maybe on the front porch with the rocking chairs. This planter is gorgeous. I might have to come in and cut this back a little bit even. Okay, and here is also some of the lavender that I started. Beautiful. I do have deck like railing planters. I'm not going to put them out this year because I really want to give this stain some time to cure and finish. And then we're also going to do restain the rest of the deck here. And so just refresh that. But that'll probably be closer to fall, just because it's summer, we get a lot of rain. I don't know. I'm not sure of how good stain does with the rain, but I definitely had to get this stuff going. Amazingly, we still have lettuce going in the green stalks. I love green stalks so much. If you have a limited amount of space, or you have a ton of space but you want to have something like closer to the house, a little more controlled, whatever, you can't go wrong with these things. This is the original. I have 2 of these. I have them on either side of my French doors here. I love them. I've grown, so far this year, I've grown cabbage, lettuce, I've got celery in here. Like, I had they were completely full of cabbage. There was like a 60-day cabbage. I pulled that, put the lettuce in. This is just seed. And then now I'm doing the green beans for the rest of the year through the fall. I've got green beans. I've got a little bit of celery. I've got some cucumbers in here. I mean, you know, you can fit like 30 plants in here, and you can grow some stuff. So regardless of what your space is like, or wherever you want to tuck something, you can't go wrong with green stock. They're fantastic. Totally worth every penny. Again, this plastic is made to be out in the elements. These got left out on the porch all winter. They got 86 inches of snow on them. They have been through all the windstorms, all the rainstorms. They look, I mean, they're a little dusty, but they look just as good as they did the day I bought them. I can't say enough good things about the green stalks. And I would suggest getting the spinner and the wheel kit. 100%. It just makes it once this thing is full of soil, and you've got the 5 tiers, this is heavy. So you really want to be able to move it around, get the plants, sun on all sides, that kind of thing. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Topsy-turvies, on the other hand, a little bit harder to keep the plants fed in these. I do think they're neat because you have stuff that grows, you know, upside down. But these are Barry's Crazy Cherries. And I chose these because I thought, okay, well, this is really an aggressive type of tomato. Even though it's going to be limited in this type of growing situation, we should still get a good, you know, harvest off of them. And they're weak. They're just, I have to come in here and make sure they get tons of food and make sure they're watered and all of that. And they're not doing as good as they could. We're not going to get very many tomatoes off of those. So I might try something else in those next year. Maybe not food, maybe some sort of flower. I'm going to look into what you can do with those topsy-turvies. These are going to, so these are just hens and chicks that I got at Walmart very early in the season. You can see they're putting babies on all over the place. I'm going to take this basket and separate it out and plant it in here all around these stones that the stairs are balanced on. And these will survive here. I think they're hardy to like a zone 3. So they'll come back every year and kind of spread out here and give that nice succulent look to this area and help to keep dandelions out. They won't keep dandelions out entirely, but they will help. I mean, so that'll be nice. And then I had this aloe in the house, and I brought it out on the porch just like the rest of my little house plants, and it just got too wet. So I pulled it out of the pot and just letting the roots kind of be free here and dry up, and then I'll come in and kind of cut back what can't be saved and repot any of the good growth and just bring it back in the house, because I don't think it belongs out here, and that's just how that is. The rest of these little things, these little jades, are doing cute. I got this little Buddha for that. Every garden needs a Buddha. My ponytail palm got knocked over there in the storm, so I got to come in and kind of clean this up, get a little more soil in here. But otherwise, it's not too bad. It's no worse for the wear. I love this plant so much. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about today. And just tons of stuff going on. Everything is really beautiful. And I'm ready for the food harvest time to come on. Just can't wait to start being overwhelmed with green beans and tomatoes and squash and cucumbers and start pickling. So soon. It's not too far off. I'm really excited for it. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye. I appreciate you guys watching. My family, I love you. All my love to everyone. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.